Hi, everyone. I'm Diane Brady. I'm here with Mark Penn, who is Chairman and CEO of Stagwell, Inc., also, of course, Chairman of the Harris Poll. And Mark, I believe you shepherded through 6 State of the Unions yourself. So we are talking about that. Welcome. What was your reaction to, the latest?
Well, I think this speech for President Biden was his basic campaign manifesto. He was kind of speaking, I think, mostly to moderate Democrats. He didn't throw a lot of out there for the squad. On the other hand, he tried to talk a little bipartisanship, and he particularly pitched to seniors, doing a lot on prescription drugs and Medicare and Social Security. So it definitely was a campaign speech. It definitely was a reach out mostly to moderate Democrats. It would have left most independents and Republicans, fairly cold at the end of the day.
How would you rank it? I mean, I don't know if you give it a letter grade but give me some sense if you step back. Sounds a bit meh.
Well, you know what? Look, I'd give it a B. I think expectations for President Biden in terms of getting through a speech are so low. People think he's so old, wonder whether he can do the job. That, the vigorous energy I think that he showed at times was probably helpful to him. I don't think there was any lasting rhetoric. The era of big government is over. I don't think there was anything there in terms of earth-shaking proposals. We've heard the billionaires tax, and we've heard that corporations and big pharma don't pay their fair share over and over. There was nothing in terms of a unique proposal. It was just a lot of, hey, let's raise teacher salary, let's give students more tuition money, let's give everybody more. So it was a little bit of a chicken in the pot kind of State of the Union, and chicken in every pot kind of State of the Union, and consequently, I'd give it a B. I don't think it's going to be one of those most remembered State of the Unions.
Well, and that would suggest a certain degree of perhaps empty rhetoric. Let's talk about the billionaire minimum tax, because that's something that comes up a fair bit. We like to vilify billionaires. What's likely to come out of that from where you sit in this current construction of Congress?
Well, first, the president has a spending perception problem, depending upon whether you think it's real or not. Most people think that the previous Democratic bills kicked off the inflation and that the Biden administration is to blame for it. That's why his ratings are in the low 40s. And so he wants to come out and kind of strike back and say, look, we're going to raise taxes. That's how we're going to close the deficit. We're going to kind of stop corporations from getting away from paying no tax with a minimum tax. And of course, we're going to go after billionaires with a billionaires tax. Now, he knows that with a Republican House, no new taxes are going anywhere. So he can rest his laurels on any old taxes that he got passed through, but this was purely campaign rhetoric.
I'm always curious, you mentioned this at the start, who exactly you're trying to reach. We've got an extremely polarized Congress, polarized country. You mentioned he's talking to moderate, Democrats. Is there any other sort of, we saw a lot of heckling. Is that just sort of what's now going to be the norm in Congress? Or was there anything unexpected in terms of the reaction that you saw to, the State of the Union, either outside of Congress or in the actual halls?
No, I mean, I think, usually States of the Union get lots of applause, and they always have an interesting pattern of applause. Everybody applauded the Tyre Nichols family and unified around, the need to deal with what happened to their child. So there are certain moments where everybody comes together, certain moments where people are kind of aghast. I think when he tried to pin, Social Security and Medicare cuts to the Republicans on the basis of some member, I think he got a reaction that he then had to fold on. I mean, this is nothing compared to like the British Parliament, but I do think most interesting is always who applauds, who doesn't. Remember, it was Nancy Pelosi who tore up Trump's State of the Union. You saw the new speaker, basically sit there very quietly, rarely really breaking a smile, but certainly applauding when appropriate. And that actually indicated overall a kind of calmer State of the Union. For me, my biggest personal State of the Union moment was in 1998 after Monica Lewinsky broke. And we didn't know if, when we went into that room, whether people in Congress were going to leave, throw shoes at us, or applaud. And they applauded, and that was kind of as though it was a normal State of the Union. And that was a major signal that we were possibly going to survive that state of, the Monica. So, yesterday there wasn't that kind of high drama. I think I really think that I saw Biden as what I call the angry optimist. He kind of got very strident and angry, and nobody really understands what he was talking about when he said that no world leader would want to substitute himself for the Chinese world leader, name one. And I don't know what that was about. And other times he was saying there was hope, there was togetherness, America could get through anything. So this angry optimism was kind of a unique mix that ran through